Right, next question. Next question. Oh, I like this one. Okay, this is a great question. It's not quite online harassment, but I'm going to go into it, okay? Because this is kind of a it's a lead in to online harassment. So this lady kind of messaged me, and she said that somebody kept sending her messages, and then kind of tried to build a relationship with her, and then wanted to transfer a huge amount of money into her account, and you know, she got a bit suspicious, and she thought that, oh, this might be a scam, so she might be conned, so she kind of didn't reply. Now, let me tell you something about this, right? I know it's not technically online harassment, but this is important. It's something that's very, very close to my heart, and it's something that I talk about a lot as well. I used to when I was in broadcasting. Being scammed and being conned, it happens on a daily basis. And here's one way that you can protect yourself on Instagram. Okay, let's just talk about Instagram. Okay, when somebody that you don't know sends you a message, okay, and they offer you it's an offer or a transaction or it's some sort of flattery, and if you think deep down inside it's too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. Okay, there is no way that you're going to become a model for pantaloons, or be cast in Mani Ratnam's next movie, or become the face of Guess, or become the lead actor for a new Hollywood picture that's being filmed in India. It's not going to happen, mate. It's not going to happen via Instagram. And it's not going to happen with somebody just sending you a hi, hello, start. Okay? You gotta be able to keep your wits about you. Think about what it is that people's intent is in messaging you. And I say this and I tell people off all the time, right? And you know, this goes back to the person that I kicked off earlier on. You know, obviously, you realize that most of the time I don't say men unless it's men specific. I say people. Because, you know, women do this too. I know plenty of women who send me DMs just with a hi, or hi, I'm so-and-so, and leave it at that, and expect me to continue the conversation. This is not a fucking conversation. It is direct messaging. If you have something to say, spit it out. Spit it out all the way through. Hi, I'm so-and-so, and I would like to make your acquaintance. I would like to do X, Y, Z, and at the end of that, I can answer yes or no. This is not like a face-to-face conversation. It isn't. The sooner that you understand this, the sooner you will stop tolerating it in others. If you want to be able to communicate effectively with people around you, spit it out. 3 words, that's all it is. Okay? Right. Let me just do a quick time check. 40 minutes. Okay, last 20 minutes of Instagram live. I'd like to answer a question that that I think a few of you asked here. Okay, a few of you asked here, and many of you have asked it before, and I think this is a question that's on a lot of people's minds, right? Why deal with online harassment and why not ignore it? Okay, I said to you earlier on that, you know, being on social media is not a crime. Harassment is a crime. Decide on which side that you want to be on. But there's a bigger kind of reason at play here. Okay. You need to think about whether ignoring online harassment is going to ultimately protect you from it happening to you. Is ignoring online harassment going to protect you? Think about that. Think about that question of mine. Seriously, is ignoring online harassment going to completely protect you from it? No. And is allowing this behavior to flourish, is that going to protect other people around on social media? Those are the 2 questions, okay? I think it's fine to say, if you want to say ignore, that's fine. It's fine, because it's your right to say I want to ignore. But I think that once you say I want to ignore, you also relinquish your right to complain when harassment does happen to you or to somebody that you know. I'm not saying that you don't have a right to recourse. Of course, nobody deserves to be harassed, right? But you've got to think about it two ways. How is ignoring a problem going to help you if it happens to you? Or are you going to wait until it happens to you? It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to ignore something that I know is bearing down, not just on me, but on so many other women and girls around the world. So I choose to say something, okay? But you've got to remember that I also don't believe in this thing of shaming people into taking action. Everybody has to take action in their own time, right? Take action in your own time when you feel that you've got the tools and resources to be able to do so, right? And you do that by listening to people and by reading and by hearing different points of view and deciding whether this is a cause that you want to take up, okay? But for me, I think that this idea that ignoring something is going to effect change doesn't work. It doesn't work, okay? I mean, look at it this way. For centuries, girls have been told, you've got to take care, you've got to protect yourself, you've got to protect yourself so that you will be safe. Centuries later, has millions and billions of women protecting themselves and trying to be safe reduced the numbers of sexual crimes and violence against women? No. No, it hasn't. It happens anyway. It not just happens anyway, it happens exponentially the world over. So obviously the protecting yourself and being at home doesn't work. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna try something else, okay? Everybody always asks me for an easy way to shut down creeps. There isn't an easy way. Do you think it was easy to get the vote to right, to get the right to vote as women? Do you think it was easy to gain independence for your country? Do you think it was easy to get girls to go to school? None of those things were easy. Shutting down sexual harassment isn't going to be easy either. Shutting down sexual harassment is going to mean that there are women out there who are speaking up for this, who will get hurt, who will get kind of stamped on, who will be told that they're not worth the time of day. Women who are speaking up will be told that they are overreacting. Some women will be killed in the process. This is what happens when you try to effect a change of an ingrained mindset. People don't like change. Does that mean that you shouldn't fight for it? No, absolutely not. And it doesn't matter if I don't see the results of online harassment being shut down on Instagram. It would be great if your daughters didn't have to. That's what I'm fighting for. That's what I'm speaking up for. Not for me, for your daughters and for girl children around the world, so that they don't have to ever receive a dick pic ever in their lives. Nobody should. And if I have to spend an entire lifetime telling men, stop showing me pictures of your penis, and then finally maybe turning that into a criminal act, then that's one battle won. And it's one for your daughters, not for me. Okay? Okay, so did that answer a question? I hope that answered the question. And let me just tell you this again, right? This is a personal journey, okay? If you want to ignore online harassment, that is your right. Nobody should hold it against you, okay? It's completely your call how you want to build your own safe space, okay? But then, this is the only thing I ask you. If you see somebody else speaking up against sexual harassment or online harassment, don't try and pull them down. Don't say that they're overreacting. Let them fight the fight. Let them fight the fight so that you don't have to. And believe me, she will be fine with that. She will be absolutely fine to do it on your behalf. Because she can and she wants to. And you should let her, because her goal isn't herself. Her goal is, again, your daughters and the girl children of the world. So allow people who want to fight against online harassment that space. We'll do the hard work. We'll get our hands dirty. That's not a problem. Okay? All right. I think that's the end of my rambling. Does anybody have any questions? We can do any kind of questions that you want on online harassment, and if we don't, then we can scoot off. It's been, I think, nearly, wow, it's been 47 minutes. Jeez, I talk a lot. Okay, let me know if you have any questions on online harassment. I don't know how to put these posts together, but I've written plenty of posts in the past about how to report and what to do in case you're harassed online. So what I will do is I will look up for those posts and see if I can put them together in my highlights. I'm really sorry, Instagram's a really awful kind of platform for searching, right? But I'll see if there's some way of trying to collate everything. If you have any other questions, you let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to go back to my drink. How does one handle bullying online? By telling the bully that you don't want to be bullied. That's as simple as that. Sudha asked, if somebody poked me frequently, I don't like being poked. I would think, oh, do you mean on Instagram, or sorry, do you mean on Facebook? Oh yeah, I just get rid of those people. I find it childish and immature. I don't need to be poked by anybody except perhaps my husband. No, definitely my husband. Okay, how do you feel if she doing flirt you? I'm sorry, I don't understand that question. If you have another way of phrasing it, I'd be happy to answer that. Sometimes a person bullying has more followers and it's scary to deal with. Scary to deal with. Yes, saying no to somebody is very scary. I will be the first person to admit that. My natural reaction is flight, not fight. The ability to be able to speak up is something I had to cultivate, right? It is very, very scary. But if you feel that it is right to be able to speak up, if you feel that you're being bullied and that you need to say no to somebody, I think there's a way of doing it without kind of pulling emotion into it. I think that's also really important when you try and respond to somebody, right? So this is something I've learned over the last couple of years. It's really, really important to be able to respond kind of as even keel as possible. I don't like what you're saying to me and I don't appreciate it. End of story. I've had women telling me that posting pictures in a public space would mean that you could get morphed and therefore we must avoid posting pictures of ourselves. Yeah, sure, of course. There are deep fakes abound, and you know, you could take somebody's head and put it onto the body of a porn actor and, you know, threaten to blackmail. Criminals will be criminals, right? So again, I go back to the point that I made at the midway point. Which side do you lay on? People who make deep fakes and who solicit blackmail are criminals. People who post pictures of themselves on social media are not criminals. It's a very, very clear distinction as to whom I would back. And there should be a very, very clear distinction as well as who people who know you best would kind of back as well. So if, let's say, there is a deep fake of you making the rounds, and people who are closest to you, who know you well, actually think it's you, perhaps it's time for you to reconsider your relationship with them. Okay. How does one react if the person harassing you is known and tries emotional blackmail? Blackmail is blackmail, no? It's and harassment is harassment. I'm sorry, Sudhya, I'm not sure exactly what the specifics of this are. It's a little bit of a generic question, but, you know, standing up to emotional blackmail is just like standing up to regular blackmail. What do you have to lose? If somebody is holding a relationship or a child over your head, again, they're committing a crime, right? You're not supposed to do that, even in a marriage. So emotional blackmail to me is the same as regular blackmail. Let's see, have I experienced women shaming you for standing up against sexual harassment? How do they justify allowing it? Oh, Joanna, I answered this question way before. Yes, of course, well, shaming me, you'll realize very few people try and shame me. Probably because I shoot my mouth off more than I should. But women tell me that, you know, I have not had anybody say to me, you should not be doing this, okay? But how do they justify allowing it? Oh, I can't speak on their behalf. I don't know how their mind works. I have no idea why they would justify it either. I'm not really interested in kind of getting into the nitty-gritty or the details of how their mind works. All I know is how my mind works, and my mind is set when it comes to online harassment. I don't want it anywhere around me, or people whom I care about, or people who are in my followers, or people who are citizens of this world. I don't want online harassment anywhere in this world. Okay, next question. Do we have any more questions? Let me just scroll back very quickly. What do you do when somebody persistently harasses you? I mean like keep copious screenshots. Well, harassment is harassment. The first instance that they harass you is when you should be making a report, correct? So you make a report, and if it's consistent harassment, you make a report with the Multimedia Commission or the cybercrime in your country, as well as a police report, and you get them off your back. I mean, there's no such thing as persistent harassment in the sense that you can cut it if you want to. It's not easy, like, and as I said earlier, it's not easy to kind of get a handle on this and take action, but you can if you want to put yourself through the discomfort. So I just discovered you today, and I'm so definitely delighted. Thank you. Thank you, Insatiable for Sarees. I love the handle name. Awesome. Okay, and that's it. Let me just quickly check. 53 minutes. Okay, so no more questions. Thank you all for joining me. I hope this has been useful. I will put this up. Shiva wants to know any particular place to purchase silk sarees in India. No, the answer is no. Sudha wants to know, ma'am, is it okay to post your child's picture? You know, I'm not a mother, so this is a difficult question for me to answer. I know a lot of parents say that they don't because they're afraid that it might be misused. But again, misusing a child's picture is a crime. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that question because I'm not a mother myself, right? Dibby Roche, who are you, Dibby Roche? Huh. Okay, well, all right then. It was fun for the most part. Okay, well, thank you for that. I have finished live. Much appreciated to all of you for sending in your questions and for participating in today's session. Let me know if there are any other topics that you'd like for me to address in the future, and I certainly will do so. Have a good Sunday, whatever's left of it. I've just got about 6 hours left of my Sunday. I hope that all of you are safe and well. Rupali, thanks for joining me, hun. It was really, really lovely to see you on this feed, and good night, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday ahead. See you soon.